There's a bunch of good credit card offers. Southwest is offering 2 months of Companion Pass. Marriott told a customer to hit the road, and I'll share my Marriott horror story in today's roundup. Big favor, give this a thumbs up to help the algorithm. If you know someone that might benefit, then share this with them. Starting off, we have the Barclays Hawaiian cards. A bit more of a gambit, but not a bad move. A big reason for this is due to the Alaska and Hawaiian merger that's still up in the air. The idea being that these Hawaiian cards end up getting discontinued in the long run. The hope being that the Hawaiian miles you earn will become Alaska miles. Also doesn't hurt that Alaska miles are pretty good for premium travel with partners like Japan Airlines. The argument though against this is that even if they do get rid of the cards, it might take a few months if not a few years. Even way back in the day of the SPG and Marriott merger, it was first announced 2015, approved 2016, and cards were still running until February 2019. So in that case, for those cards, a bit under 3 years. There are 2 Barclays Hawaiian cards, a personal one and a business one. If anything, I go for the business one, but even then, it's just on my radar. It's not that high of a priority. On a side note, if you want to learn about this card or pretty much any other card out there and support the channel, we do have links on the website, asksebi.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. If you're over 524, then the Capital One Venture might be worth considering. So this is the normal Venture rather than the Venture X, but even if you have the Venture X, you're still eligible for this one. There's going to be 2 parts to this. First one is a $250 Capital One travel credit that expires 1 year from account opening. The second part is 75,000 Capital One miles for spending $4,000 on purchases within the first 3 months. $95 annual fee, but the math works and makes a ton of sense. Reminder that Capital One does have more than 15 transfer partners, so pretty good way to top off your balances if you need additional points. Or you could book normal travel through their portal and lock in 1 cent per point, which is still fine. This offer ends pretty soon, September 9th, 2024. Moving to a lightning round, we have Southwest Airlines. Right now, and pretty much today if you're watching it right now, they have a very good deal to get Companion Pass. You have to register right now and book either a round trip or 2 one-way flights by September 5th, so today. Travel is by November 20th, 2024, and if you do this, you're getting Companion Pass from January 6th until March 6th, 2025. If you're planning to book a trip anyways, then you might as well book today. If you already had a trip booked though, then it might make sense to cancel. Main reason being that to be eligible, you need to register first before booking. Double check the price, but if it's the same, cancel, register for this promotion, and then rebook the flight. If there is a price difference, then it depends on you and your upcoming trips for those months that you would have Companion Pass. We also did send a newsletter about this a few days ago when it was first announced. But yeah, pretty much sharing any cool deals I find, so feel free to sign up, asksebi.com/newsletter. We're also giving out a bunch of Delta drink vouchers in the next newsletter. Anyone that's part of the newsletter can enter the giveaway and we'll share a code that you can use during your flight. QR code to sign up for the newsletter in case useful. If you're an AV geek, so aviation geek, not the other AV, then you might want to sign up for this. United is ending the print version of the Hemisphere magazine, but you can request a copy of it. They're giving away 50,000 copies of this last edition. As of filming, there's still 46,000 left, so you probably have plenty of time. But yeah, I ended up requesting a copy because why not? So it does show up as a purchase, but there's no cost. I feel like people in the travel space like collecting things anyways, so hopefully useful. In case you're wondering, this is the Park Hyatt Kyoto Shiba Inu. So he has a little scarf or handkerchief that says Park Hyatt on it. This is Roku-san from the LXR Kyoto. So Hyatt and Hilton. The last story is about Marriott and a pretty crazy one. I think I'd definitely be pretty pissed. Marriott calls security and tells Platinum member to leave and find another place. One pretty common tactic of airlines and hotels is overbooking. The idea being that based off data that they have, some people just don't show up. Maybe it's a change of plans, forgetting to cancel, or just being late. For flights, for every 100 seats, they sell 150 tickets. In my experience seeing it, a lot of the overbooking happens with basic economy and the cheaper fares. In fact, I know some people that end up booking 2 flights on 2 different days because they don't know when they want to leave a conference. For hotels, the no-show rate is about 5 to 15%, so that's what they overbook by. The entire idea, and you can definitely argue this, is that they're overbooking in order to charge people less. So if they didn't overbook, then economically they would have to charge people more. They have a revenue target they're after that can either charge people more and then fly empty, or overbook and charge a bit less. Given market dynamics and competition, generally easier to overbook and charge less to seem competitive. The benefit for us is that they generally have pretty good policies about getting bumped. It depends on when you fly and what you fly, but some people end up getting a few $1,000s for some flights, to the point that some people even intentionally look for these overbooked flights with the hope of getting bumped and getting a few thousand in vouchers. especially common during Thanksgiving and other holidays. So for flights, you get bumped. For hotels, you get walked. It really depends on the program, but Marriott was considered the best one. For example, Hyatt has a reservation guarantee if you book through them, and at no cost to you, you get a free night at a comparable hotel, free transportation to that hotel, and also one free telephone call. Last one's a bit funny to me, kind of feels like you got arrested. IHG has a similar policy, so first night of lodging at a comparable hotel, and also transportation to that hotel. For Hilton, it gets even better if you have diamond status, so you get a comparable night, and also $200, which seems more than fair because if someone's throwing a wrench into your vacation, that's the least they can do. Marriott, though, has historically had one of the best walk policies, especially if you had status. Also tons of data points where they've paid it out and been really good about it. Unlike a lot of the other programs, they make it super prominent. So this is going to be the ultimate reservation guarantee that's right next to the welcome gift, room type, and lounge access. For most of the mid-level and up hotels, so Edition, Autographs, Deltas, Le Meridians, all elite members get $200 and 90,000 points. So this is all elite members, even if you have silver or gold status. And a reminder that there are a bunch of cards that give you gold status just by holding it, and the silver ones are no annual fee. For the more economic ones like Courtyard and Moxie, if you have silver and gold status, you get $100. If you have platinum and up, it's $100 and 90,000 points. This money and potentially points is in addition to covering a night at a nearby hotel that is similar. Heading back to the story from View from the Wing, apparently the Chicago Marriott doesn't care. Even though they had Bonvoy Platinum status, they were offered no alternative accommodations. My default in that case is to call up the Marriott line because you don't really want to argue, especially when there's terms. Apparently that's what happened, and the HQ was saying that yes, you are supposed to have this benefit, but the front desk didn't care. I had him speak with the Marriott agent, and the employee yelled at them and didn't do anything other than tell the guest to leave, and they're getting walked. To be fair, we are only seeing one side of the conversation, so maybe there was something else going on. But otherwise, it feels like a slam dunk for the hotel guest, assuming that they documented everything. It was a Marriott property, so they should get 290,000 points. I can't imagine Marriott HQ not going above and beyond that number. Reminder that a lot of these are franchises and might not be owned by Marriott proper. So it might be an issue of that hotel or that front desk person, but hopefully it works out. Kind of related, but wanted to share my Marriott horror story. Luckily, I haven't been walked, and for me, it was a phone call when SPG and Marriott were merging. Long story short, there was an option to combine your accounts via an online form. I already did one merge and then I think it maxed out and didn't let me do any more, and pretty much said you had to call in for them to do it. So I did call in, told them that I had multiple accounts because I opened up cards and I didn't put my number in. So the bank opened up a new account on my name, on my behalf. It wasn't me doing anything weird. Also, I think I saw data points online saying that you can call in and do the merge, and that's fine. The first person I called pretty much accused me of fraud, that I was doing something wrong, and I was arguing and explaining that there was data points and stuff, but they weren't having it. For them, they didn't really understand why I had multiple accounts, and they were pretty much asking if I wanted to close them because it's not appropriate. Once you realize they're not going anywhere with it, that's when you hang up and call again. I think I waited 5 minutes to make sure the same person didn't pick up, and the second person pretty much understood my problem directly and was able to solve it. I think it was only a minute or two and they got through everything. Yep, no problem, seeing this a lot of business travelers. Cool, you're good to go, done. Especially if you watch videos and you're this deep into one, if you read blogs, if you read forums, you probably know more than the average employee, especially if they're newer to the company and might not be as well read. But yeah, don't be afraid to hang up and call again. That can save you a ton of headache. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, asksebi.com, and also down below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a cell phone or mobile phone emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 3 questions. Number 1, what cards are on your radar right now? Number 2, are you going for the Southwest Companion Pass, even though it's only 2 months? And number 3, do you have any airline or flight horror stories that you want to share? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, thumbs up, consider subscribing, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.